Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Super Metroid Redesign, and we are back in Brinstar, and we've got a bit to check out here. One thing I am definitely getting is high jump boots. High jump is a very nice item with redesign physics because, hey, more jumps. And more jumps is indeed a technical term. I'm very positive about that. And we actually have grapple. So we could check that out, but it's the speed boost thing. We might be able to get this. Not too much of an issue. Or maybe not. Or you can get spiked. So yeah, wave beam can't hit this thing even with charge, so it's still that is that thing. Beams are pretty useless overall in this hack until you get the beam combo. This must just be Shine Spark thing for an energy tank. I will gladly take that. And there wasn't some ridiculous puzzle for it either, so that's good. Just a little bit of one, find a secret. See, I am perfectly fine with, putting energy tanks and stuff and hidden spots. I mean, items, you have to go exploring for them. But you still also should give the player enough just out in the open, hanging out, so that they can beat the game. Anything else they find, or at least maybe not so they beat the game, but or at least not beat the game comfortably. Good grief. Beams are so effective. But yeah, that way, they can at least go through that, do that, find stuff. And I've been here. This is the other side of Varia. So that's interesting. But yeah, that also makes, like, anything they find through, I guess, regular exploration, sort of like a bonus toward that goal of beating the game. So it'll make their life easier and all that fun stuff. Oh, this looks oddly familiar. Really? Couldn't you have that thing destroyed so I could roll through? This looks like the thing that's around the Chozo Guardian in the original redesign. It is interesting. Looks like that, doesn't mean it is, but speaking of Chozo Guardians, I have not got one yet. Quite apparently. I'm not entirely sure where they all are, or if any have moved, and this is a bit more out in the open. That super was probably the one that was covered in spikes, hidden in the scenery and whatnot. Which I am perfectly fine with. I mean, going through a spike tunnel, I mean, the player knows what they're doing. They're rolling into spikes, so that's their fault. I don't mind a few items. Not like every single item ever, but a couple items here and there. And then a spike tunnel. Plus it gives the player some impetus to explore some places where obviously it's not exactly safe, so encourages them to try to go through and explore, find things in some unusual places, and run away from lettuce leaves. So we've got some stuff. Also, I do like that pseudo screw attack still works on the Metroid. That is something that was in the original. It's really kind of hard to know because Metroids really aren't used during these spaces, and neither are screes. Oh, get out. Okay. And this is just... This should be called Super Metroid Metroid. These things are everywhere. Drew does tend to use, or has used, screes more than most anyone else I can think of. They are not that common of an enemy. I mean, for one thing, they're not the easiest thing to use because they have one use. They're on a ceiling. And really, the only places to make them effective enemies is to put them in spots where it's... That's a thing. That's a fall. Interesting. But yeah, to make a screes an effective enemy, you have to put them in spots where it's generally considered bad enemy placement because it's sort of hanging off up screen. You jump up to a thing and suddenly, oh, there's a screen on your head. That's how you make them effective, and not a lot of people are willing to just do that because generally otherwise they're pretty useless. They're there hanging on the ceiling, you can see them, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Side hopper? There's another one hanging out over here, isn't there? No? Okay. That wasn't even close. And I can't shine spark through that, so let's check what's in here. Probably need high jump to do that. Is this the... I think this is the energy tank. Yes. Okay, energy tank. I'm sort of happy to see he did not get rid of this energy tank room. I'm not exactly happy. That's more suitless underwater stuff, and I'll come back here later after I get some high jump. Oh my goodness. These physics. Liquids. Why do people think this is fun? I don't know. But yeah, there's another energy tank there, so that's something. That'll probably be useful because, again, energy in this hack. There's just as much of it as normal, but it still finds a way to be scarce. Finally get up to this save. which this is changed slightly. Maybe more than a little slightly. While I do like the map, mostly the pause map, and the fact that the door transitions are shown, there are some weird things in the map. Like some of the tiling in the mini-map and stuff is just weird. And spikes. But now that we have grapple, we can come down here, and instead of trying to infinite bomb jump out of liquid, we can just go and actually grapple out of it. It's much more effective. Another reason to get high jump is it is, I think I said this last video, but it is packaged with spring ball. So we get our second boot, which looks the exact same. So we have one shoe for each foot. One let us wall jump, and now we can jump high and bounce as a ball with a boot. That's not exactly ball shaped, but whatever. Don't question it. So we got high jump. That's a good jump. A thing. Actually, high jump. The jump height is definitely nice in this hack, but I mean, jump height being added is nice in pretty much any hack, excluding maybe area and hyper, just because the jumps are already ridiculous in those. And I can't spring off crumble blocks. That's just wonderful. That is just wonderful. That's kind of air. You could say it's airy. It's called a callback. Interesting. Oh, and there's a powerbomb barricade up there. Okay. Yeah, that is for one of the Guardians. Also, Googly Eye, you are a disappointment to your species. That just seems like a huge platform for that save station. Like, that is beyond any reasonable power source for a save station. And that got me nowhere. I think that might be one of the things I need space jump for. That was not what I wanted to do. That was super uber pro or whatever. There's this thing. Yeah, here's that upper. And you meta rees. We got this. We have high jump, so we can do. That wasn't even close. Got our slip there. If you don't know, Shine Spark Restart is a thing. Basically, you Shine Spark into a slope or whatever and not get hit by rippers. We'll just take care of you guys. Get you out of the way. And that's not a Shine Spark. There we go. It's a simple. And I was kind of hoping for more bugs. Could have removed a Metairie or two to add some more bugs to this thing, but oh well. Because when you farm as much as you do in some hacks, especially redesign, you kind of want to increase the speed so that players aren't spending half their game time sitting around farming. Ways to do that would be more refill bugs at each station, or just use this refill, seeing how there's 4 of them in this, or ammo stations and stuff. Elevator. This doesn't seem like it was here. I can use this door? What? That's an interesting elevator right there. It's a very interesting elevator. Seriously though, the map is still... I still am pretty happy with the map. And super. So this got us speed boost. No. Okay, side hopper. Could put that in the school of poorly placed enemies. Only avoid it if you know it's there. And I just saw a thing. Let's get back there. And I can't wall jump, so that's great. Because wall jumping off of pink rocks is not allowed. It would be too useful. That is some pro shine sparking. Although, you know, if this next room has 4 bugs, why do you have a refill bug station right there? You could just put another scree thing in the previous room. Oh my goodness. Side hoppers dodge too hard. And this time, wall's already broke, so we don't need to worry about that. And a purple door. Of course. It has been too long since we saw a purple door, so of course there's going to be a purple door. And this is actually... there is definitely a thing somewhere in here. I know there's a thing in here. There's a missile further down, because again I saw some of BL Soldier's videos, and I know there's a thing in here. There is something in here. There it is. Yeah. It's the danger of leaving a playlist up and going to Gorilla Sandwich. Sometimes you come back and you're like, oh, where's this? It's like, oh, maybe I don't want to see that, but yeah. It's a 2 missile pack for that, so it's something. I think it was BL Soldier's. I don't remember. In any case, there is a missile pack there. And that Decora thing, still a Guardian. It's kind of, sort of, like in the original redesign. I definitely believe that was the worst statue to find in Brinstar. And still in this, obviously, you have to come at it from multiple ways because you have to find that switch. It's one of the switches to unlock the Decora. I don't think it was hidden as bad this time. Then again, I also did see part of that video, so I may have played a part in it, but I don't think it was hidden as bad. Although, again, I said this in Hyper and another purple door, but like locking off the in-game area, finding like arbitrary, like the Guardians in this or the gates in Hyper, I don't mind that at all. I kind of enjoy that. Making the player go around and explore, find stuff. It's not items, but a means to unlock the final area. That I am fine with, and it kind of makes sense. You know, like with Metroid, you know, the final area was technically locked off until you defeated both bosses. Same with Super Metroid. So that was brilliant. It's been done. It's not an uncommon theme in Metroid. And then, like with the Chozo Guardians, or the gates, or whatever else. I knew it. It's the reason you want to refill in this room. Because side hoppers are back here. It's another reason why this gate was one of the Chozo Guardian was one of the worst in the original. It's all the giant side hoppers. But like finding new ways to go about the whole locked off final area. Whereas like Metroid and Super made it, you know, you're going to find the bosses and defeat them anyway. So hooray. I mean, the reason is it unlocks the final area. This acts like this kind of separate that part from the bosses, where bosses are a means to help unlock the world map. Either by unlocking doors, or having items after them, or both. And then the unlock final area part is handled via some other means, which is the Chozo Guardians in this case. Or gates, or some other way. Which may be in fear. And another purple door. And these supers fire so slow. So yeah, you want to make sure to have enough ammo, because there's a purple door here apparently on top of that. Don't use all your supers because you need them for the switch and the door. That's not at all what I wanted. It's better. Be careful, because again, from School of Terrible Enemy Placement. Oh my. It's a Metairie, and then the one giant side hopper right there. Another giant side hopper, and I do suggest refilling, because I believe there's another giant side hopper in here. Yep. So yeah, this room didn't change that much. Yes, that took care of the door. Now you can get that door open by killing the refill bugs, because it's, I believe, destroy a certain number of enemies to unlock door. So you could do that and then just run through the room. I do definitely recommend refilling, getting some health back, because you have to come back through this room. And my goodness, I hope that bird's not coming through, because he is not being quiet. He's going off about something. So, hooray. Yes. Refill my stuff with... Exactly how does this work? With enemies dropping both certain types of ammo and health. It's not just that they drop them, but like in this where they, like these refill bugs can drop missiles or super missiles, even power bombs. If they, well, actually, they might not drop power bombs. If they do, it's pretty rare, but they can drop them. They can drop a specific type. How exactly do they go about doing that? I would like to know. But anyway, this is our first Chozo Guardian, and I want to see Sector 1. Nope. Okay, you can let me go. I was curious if he had written out. You know, and actually, you might want to let the player fall down in that room through a crumble block or something. That way they don't have to come back through here and potentially get murdered because they didn't refill. But I was just wondering if that Chozo, like unlocking a Guardian, told you how many Guardians were left. I guess he still leaves it up to the Guardian in front of terrain. Although it is kind of clear what you need to do. When you find one Guardian, and I don't believe they're in order. I think that, like, the number assigned to a Guardian is specific and definitely to that Guardian. And my goodness, somebody needs to stop antagonizing those birds. So, like, this one was Sector 1. I'm pretty sure that's always Sector 1, even if it's the last Guardian. Because it's the sector, not the guard. Yeah, you get it. But that being the case, when you go through, you find Guardians. You find like 1, 2, and 3. And you also end up eventually finding the terrain access point. And this one Guardian comes up. It's like, oh, hey, you need to unlock these Guardians. And you're like, oh, okay, so that means there's 3 per area, or whatever. You kind of get that worked out in your head. So, question is, thank you, Googly Eye. There's nothing here? Interesting. Maybe move that missile. There was a missile that hides out under there. There's also an X-ray scope, which is just wonderful, which is apparently still here. Just get rid of that barrier. And that is definitely much easier than it was. If you remember in the original, you had to do a speed boost and then do a little short hop to break the blocks. So you just have to run this one, and we still have X-ray scope right here, so I may as well get it. So there's the power bomb barrier right there, which, yeah, whatever. I do like that the pause menu has been sped up. The act of pausing and unpausing. And I'm not entirely sure that being destroyed by missiles is in the original. I don't think that is. I could be wrong, but again, they're really not in a lot of places in the original. Yes, give me more missiles. Because you never know when you'll run into another purple door. I am pretty sure I will be coming up on that soon, because where I'll be headed is to Criteria. That's where I'm supposed to be going. And the joys of suitless underwater, because we got to do that section of Criteria. Check. Did break. Summer crumble. And there's a switch up there. And that's not a thing. Also, can't. Right. Interesting. What do you do, Switch? I don't know. It opened a gate, and oh, thanks for that, Drew. It's a nice side hopper. Yeah. I am not going to spend much time on the morph ball puzzles in this hack because they're mostly annoying. They were mostly annoying, and it does not appear they've changed much. And since I can't jump off crumbles, even with Spring Ball, that's just a further annoyance. It's not really something I care to care to go through. Put it that way. Stupid lettuce leaf. So yeah, I am still oh. I see. Is there nothing here? Okay. What is the point? Work. Oh my goodness. Work. Thank you. Oh. It's a shot block. I forgot. And one of the dumbest things ever, and it's another 2 missile, but hooray, items. But one of the dumbest things ever. Power bombs do not destroy shot blocks. And as you saw, they do absolutely nothing, so you can lay a power bomb and not be aware of something, so yeah. Hooray. But there is a save right up here, so this would actually be a good point to stop the video. So I will save, stop the video. So thanks for watching. We will see you in the next part where we go into Criteria. We'll collect Spacer for sure, but other than that, we'll see.